Mark Denham on Atom Radio.
Hello, I am Mark Denham from Atom Radio's Drivetime, and this is the podcast, the best bits of Drivetime for week 8 of 2019, which I think, therefore, is episode 33. I say I think because I think last week was 32, and off the top of my head, I'm just guessing. But anyway, I hope you're well. I hope you had a fantastic half term. Week 8 of the year already means that Thursday will be the last day of February. That's 2 months of the year already gone. That is shocking, isn't it? Coming up for you in the podcast this week, trying to follow in the family footsteps, but falling at the first hurdle, a tricky dilemma, rhyming versus repetition. One is good, one is just lazy and cheating. A very strange family pet for a birthday present, a pet hate of mine. See what I did there? Mistagged music. I really, really hate mistagged music. How estate agents use the English language to come as well. And I'll give you an insight into my brain. And that's quite brave, I think. All that and more in this week's podcast. All you have to do now is listen through to the end. Good luck. Enjoy the journey.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
It's the big drive home for a Monday. You got Mark with you until 7 o'clock. Ronan Keating's daughter, Missy, has said that she wants to have a career just like her dad. However, she did miss out on a place in the next round of The Voice UK on Saturday's episode. The 17-year-old performed as part of a duo, GGMK, with her friend Georgia Gaffney. And despite winning over the audience with their rendition of CeeLo Green's Forget You, none of the judges pressed the buzzer for her. will.i.am and Jennifer Hudson's teams were already full, so they were hoping to win either Sir Tom Jones or Ollie Murs. Before going on stage, Missy told viewers, "I'm just praying they turn. My family has inspired us so much. I've grown up around music, my dad Ronan being in Boyzone." Don't forget he did have a solo career as well though, Missy. But yeah, I have to say, it's not a disaster, I don't think, because let's be honest, how many people that have actually been on these reality shows and done well have actually gone on to do well? Not that many.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
You got Mark with you on Monday's Drive Time. Cheers for sticking us on. We're here until 7 o'clock tonight. Katie Price has bought her daughter a pet for birthday present, all right? So what would you imagine it would be? You know, perhaps a cat or a dog, maybe a rabbit, guinea pig, gerbil. No. She's bought her a pet hedgehog. Why? What's the pet benefit of a hedgehog? I don't get it.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
I've had an email of, and we do get these, of a song that is sent to me for possible inclusion on our playlist, right? So I thought 2 songs on, have a little listen to it, okay? And there is a problem here. The first line and the second line. Well, they've used the same word at the end of both. That is not rhyming, that's repetition, you see. So yeah, if you are songwriting, we did mention this last week with that tragic Gun Lean song, but if you are songwriting traditionally and you'd like to, rhyme, don't use the same word twice. That is not rhyming. Like, say, if I said I fancied some lemon and lime, so I went to the shop and bought some for a dime, that's rhyming. If I said I went to the shop because I fancied some lemon and lime, so I bought some lemon and lime, that is not rhyming at all. That is repetition. So yeah, thank you so much for your email. I'm not going to give any further details, but your song isn't going on the playlist here.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
One of the most common features in terms of attractiveness, that legs on Atom Radio. ZZ Top. I don't think they could have called it the other thing, could they? The other most common one. Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan in 1999. I'm just thinking, imagine, if ZZ Top, she's got legs, which are liked by a lot of people. If they'd have called it the other thing that's liked by a lot of people, I'm sure that song would have taken on a whole new, different meaning, wouldn't it?
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk. UK.
It's 4:15. It is Mark with you on Tuesday, the 19th of February. A lady booked a seat on a plane with extra leg room. She thought she'd done well. Lizzie Thompson, her name is. She thought, I've done well. I've booked a flight with, extra leg room. I'm all right. She was on the tarmac on the Air France plane. Bonjour. When a man sat in the opposite seat of the aisle decided to get a little more comfortable. A lot of people do that, don't they, on the plane? You get a little more comfortable, perhaps, before you take off, especially if it's a long-haul flight. Unfortunately for her, the man's ideas of getting comfortable, removing his trousers. Yeah. Now, the guy went on to put a coat on when he got a little bit cold, but he did leave his trousers off and his socks off, just sat there with a coat on and his boxer shorts, nothing beneath his boxer shorts at all. Another passenger boarded with a ukulele, and she just thought, what is going on? What is going on? This was before the flight took off. 2 hours into the flight, he stood up, took 4 mini bottles of wine from the cart, then fell asleep. 6 hours in, he got so cold he put his puffy jacket on. But finally, the trousers went back on after many, many hours, the flight back on. But his ukulele wasn't played. So at least it was quiet anyway, even if slightly disturbing to the eye. At least it was quiet. Well, can you imagine that? Sat on a plane where, I couldn't imagine doing it. Sat on a plane, just taking my trousers off.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
A friend of mine tweeted earlier today, and this is an actual annoyance of mine, I have to say. A friend of mine tweeted earlier today about something which has happened to him. On Amazon, he asked for 80s music. When you can ask your Amazon Alexa or whatever to play 80s music. And Take That comes up. Take That, Rule the World, playing apparently on an all 80s station. Now, Take That, Rule the World was not an 80s song. Never, ever was it an 80s song. And things like that really annoy me. Like, I have a few collections that are, all 80s hits. And then you've got songs from 1991 or 1992. So it's not like they possibly were released in December of 1989 and became hits in 1990. No, if they were hits in 91 or 92, no way were they 80s songs. So what was that all about? That really annoys me when that happens. Like you get albums that are, well, if you're releasing an album, let's say, or a collection on Spotify or Amazon or whatever, that is going to be, I don't know, the best female singers ever. Sound like I'm doing an advert now, don't I? The best female singers ever. But you know what I'm saying. If you're going to release an album like that, then you wouldn't expect to find a male on there, would you? So why is it acceptable to release an album, the best 80s songs ever, the greatest 80s hits, where you've got these standout songs that are 1 or 2 years outside the decade that the album's about? Why is that? That's just a little rant that really, really annoys me. It really does. I'm sorry that you've had to listen to it, but it does actually annoy me greatly.
Drive time with Mark Denham.
Please tell me now. Is there something actually know?
Duran, is there something I should know on atomradio.co.uk? It's Tuesday's Drive Time at 6:18. Cheat codes, Kim Petras, by the way, before that, Feeling of Falling. Now, I was going to talk to you about, we mentioned last week about accents, didn't we? I was going to talk to you about the English language. And if you are a lawyer, then you have to use it in a certain way. But the one that really gets me is estate agents. The way they contort the English language. Presented to the market is this unique opportunity to purchase a 3-bedroom house with excellent development potential. What that basically means is, up for sale is a 3-bedroom house, needs a lot of work. You see, now, it just depends, doesn't it, on how you write it. Their way sounds much better than my way, although my way is the truth, I'd imagine.
Mark Denham.
Online radio, streaming from Slough, United Kingdom. Hello, it is Friday afternoon. It's the big drive home. It's Mark with you until 7 o'clock tonight. Now, I tell you why I wasn't here, on Wednesday, obviously. I wasn't here on Wednesday because I was at Bracknell, where the Cup semi-final took place and the Peterborough Phantoms won. They go through to the final. So congratulations to them. You may think all is well in Peterborough. However, it's not, because research has come out showing that Peterborough is in fact, and I quote, the crappiest place to live in the UK. So yeah, all is not so well in Peterborough, is it? You know, like you may have won the semi-final, but then you had to journey home to the worst place in the UK to live. Oh dear, that's not so good, is it?
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Atom Radio plays Cheat Codes, Kim Petras and Feeling of Falling, Sinead O'Connor and Mandinka. Sinead O'Connor is from Ireland, and this just reminds me of a random thought that I had earlier on today whilst I was out driving, all right, and kind of shows that my brain doesn't really work in normal ways. But I was thinking, we have England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales as the United Kingdom. Why do we not have England, Scotland, Ireland and Walesland as the United Kingdom? Now, I know, granted, that's a very random thought, but I was just thinking, England, Scotland, Ireland all have one thing in common. Why is Wales not Walesland or Welshland or whatever you want to call it?
Drive time with Mark Denham.
Atom Radio with Michael Bolton. How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? I would suggest that's very difficult. Hosier before that, and Almost at 17 after 5 on Friday. You got Mark with you on the big drive home. Cheers for sticking us on. It's the greatest drive time on the greatest internet radio, in my humble little opinion. That's the important bit, just to add on at the end there. My humble little opinion. This afternoon, I did see a man today who was wearing trainers. Nothing unusual in that at all, other than the fact that on his one of his feet was a Nike trainer and on the other was a Reebok. Now I'm thinking, yeah, there's something a little unusual about that. atomradio.co.uk. So there you go, another episode of the podcast this week, and that is a very, very random thought, isn't it? England, Scotland, Ireland, Walesland. Why is it not? I just don't get it. And then later on, actually after I'd shared that thought on social media, a friend of mine, Louise, did also say in response to that on Facebook, if you are English or Scottish, why are the Welsh people not Walesish? And that's also a good question, isn't it? You see, my random brain thoughts triggered that from my friend Louise. So yeah, so if you are listening in Wales, why is it that you are not from Walesland and Walesish? There you go. That'll do for wrapping up episode 33 of the podcast. Subscribe if you haven't already, and then next week you will get the notification to say that we've uploaded week 34 or even episode 34's podcast when that is ready next week. You can catch Atom Radio's Drive Time live from 4 until 7 UK time on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio and on your smart speaker. Hope to catch you then. If not, we'll see you for next week's podcast.
Atom Radio, ooh yeah, playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
Atomradio.co.uk.